What's up, Captains? This episode of the Captain's Lifestyle Podcast is going to be a little bit different than you're used to, as well as a lot shorter. So I just wanted to record a quick little episode talking about Black Friday and how it is ridiculous. And then I also want to kind of, ironically to what I just said, give you some Black Friday deals from some of my lovely affiliates. So to start off, why I think Black Friday is bullshit or is overhyped. And really the whole holiday season, specifically gift giving, I take that back, not gift giving, but buying useless or unnecessary things and creating unnecessary waste is ridiculous. So specific to Black Friday, it's this whole idea of consumerism, right? You need this new thing, right? That this new thing just launched, you get it at a discount, like buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. And it's all, for the most part, nonsense. We don't need new things all the time. We really don't need hardly anything, right? We don't need anything besides food, water, shelter, right? Those are the things, oxygen, that we need. So first off, let's change our language around it to want. And then when we get into things that we want or things that we desire, I think that especially in Western culture in America, we've gotten so used to instant gratification. I want this, so I'm going to get it now. This is very evident in the younger generation, I feel, especially now with social media and YouTube and pornography and TikTok. You can get whatever you want, whenever you want. You can just have it instantly. And it's a really big problem. And now with Black Friday, with everybody running ads and, things being cheaper, trying to lure people into buying these new products, it just further exacerbates the problem. And I think it's ridiculous how there's like lines at stores and people going crazy inside the stores, like starting fights over a new TV. Like, what? It's crazy to me. And I think we've gotten so far away from what we're supposed to be as human beings, right? Human beings are not supposed to constantly be seeking out these new materialistic things, especially if it's in the pursuit of happiness, which is a completely false belief. Materialistic objects or money or fame or, recognition of some sort, winning of, a contest or something, is not going to bring you happiness, at least for the long term. In the moment, yeah, it feels good. But if you're constantly pursuing the next thing, if you'll say, I'll be happy when ... you will never be happy, except maybe in that flash of a moment to where you do get that new thing or you do win the contest or whatever. But as soon as that euphoria passes, so does your happiness. So I think we really need to get away from this consumer mentality of always buying the new product, especially if they are unsustainable or unhealthy products. And this constitutes the majority of the US market, right? Most companies, unfortunately, still are only focused on making a profit. This means that they sacrifice quality, so often using plastics and styrofoams, things of that nature, and also sacrificing quality if it's a like a health related item, like food companies or restaurants always going for the cheapest quality food, which is obviously the worst for you. And especially if they're running deals around these things, you know, I guess you get what you pay for. And I think a lot of people, this is another topic, are just completely oblivious to the impact that their buying decisions have. It goes beyond, like, if you, let's take, what should we say, like non-organic bread, for example, or any wheat product. Let's take this as an example. So if you buy any non-organic, especially wheat product, not only is it unhealthy for you because of the gluten and also the gliadin in there, which can wreak havoc on your gut and cause a whole host of physical and mental issues. But not only that, it also contains glyphosate, because wheat is one of the highest sprayed crops with glyphosate, which has been proven to cause cancer, which has been proven to cause leaky gut, and it's horrible. So that combined with the gluten is not good. But above that, it also contributes to monocropping, which is a huge problem. It's depleting our soil of nutrients. It is partly responsible for the destruction of the environment. And then not only that, but it's also packaged in plastic, more than likely. So you're contributing to all of these major problems, your health, sustainability, as well as I guess those are it. Yeah, health from the gluten and the glyphosate, sustainability from the plastic, and also the monocropping. So those are two major issues, but nobody thinks of that when they buy a loaf of bread. They just think they're buying a loaf of bread. They don't understand that their buying decisions have an impact, not just on themselves, but also everybody, all of us. So if we all stop buying these ridiculous, cheap products that nobody needs, certainly not needs, but nobody should want, then companies will stop producing them. And this is part of what I'm trying to do with the Captain's Lifestyle program. Our massively transformative purpose is to lead the future of business. And I believe that the future of business is not going to be these, quick, cheap, ridiculous, unhealthy, low quality products. I think companies of the future are going to have to prioritize themselves, their customers, their employees, and their contribution to society, which means that they're going to have to opt for quality products. And you see this happening with a lot of companies. So companies that are part of 1% for the Planet or certified B Corps, I say this on my podcast all the time. Companies who basically give a shit, who, even though it's cheaper to use plastic in their products, is it really cheaper in the long run? Like, what is the cost of using plastic? And I don't want to go down this whole rabbit hole on this podcast. I wanted to keep this relatively short. But to sum it all up, I think Black Friday and consumerism in general is ridiculous. And it is absolutely a part of the downfall of our society. We don't need these new things, especially things that are cheap, low quality, that do not contribute to our quality of life, that contribute to the horrific plastic pollution problem, that contribute to the destruction of the environment, or the, either torture or testing on animals in any way. I think it's ridiculous. We need to start looking deeper into what it is that we're actually buying and what it is that we're actually supporting when we buy products. Like my brother, for example, he loves milk and he has to drink this one specific brand of milk, and it's non-grass-fed milk. It comes from cows that are obviously tortured. The dairy industry is horrible. But he's so like dogmatic in his views, like he has to have this brand of milk. And he's not considering the other effects. Like, yeah, you might like it. Yeah, it might taste good. But morally or ethically, is that the right thing to do? Once you see what's happening to these cows and how they're getting the milk and the way that the cows are treated, not to mention the milk is not good for you because it's pasteurized and it's not a good quality milk. So your health aside, it also comes in a plastic container. So there's all these things that we aren't really considering, and our buying decisions make a tremendous impact, more than most people even realize. So that's what I wanted to, the first part of this podcast, that's what I wanted to emphasize, is that stop buying all these ridiculous things that you don't need, that are not good for you. All right. So now let's move on to a couple Black Friday deals from companies that I believe in, that who are doing good, who are #leading the future of business. First off, I want to start off with Bioptimizers, because I just won the Influencer of the Year award. So thank you guys so much for all of you who supported me and who voted for me. It obviously made a difference because I won. So I won the new iPhone 13. So I will be using that to make a whole lot of new content, YouTube videos, Instagram posts, things like that. So stay tuned for some good content. But yeah, Bioptimizers is by far my favorite supplement brand. They create the best products that I've ever used. They are extremely effective. And part of the reason I won the Influencer of the Year award is because I believe in their products. Therefore, I promote their products a lot. We align so perfectly with our vision, with our core values. So I just want to give you a quick rundown of the products that I use from them, which is basically all of them. And it's because I actually like their products, not because I'm affiliated with them. So to start it off, we've got P3om Breakthrough. And the sale that they're having is 25% off, which is the biggest sale that I've seen from them since I've been affiliated with them for about the past year and a half. So definitely take advantage of this deal. 25% off, plus you get this free mug with every order. So this is cool little Bioptimizers mug here. Little nifty gifty with your purchase. That is only if you use my link though. So they're running separately their own 25% off thing, but you have to use my link in order to get that mug, the little nifty gifty. So yeah, the P3om Breakthrough, this is good for leaky gut. I take this in the morning on an empty stomach. I just dry scoop it with a swig of water. Tastes really good. And then sticking with morning time supplements, I take their Cognibiotics, which is a probiotic that is also good for mental clarity as well as mood. So if you didn't know, your gut is basically your second brain. So obviously well, maybe not obvious to some people, but by feeding your healthy gut bacteria and making sure everything's running smoothly down there, it optimizes your brain function, both cognitively and also emotionally. It helps you feel better. Sticking with morning supplements, continuing, we've got the P3om Probiotic. So I take one of these in the morning and also 2 before each meal. So probiotics are fantastic for, well, not all probiotics are created equal, which is why I take the P3om. It's fantastic for immunity. It's fantastic for digestive health. And that also goes into brain health. Morning supplements continued. I take Capex. I take 6 in the morning on an empty stomach. This helps with digestion, specifically with fat. So if you're on a ketogenic diet, which I'm not on a ketogenic diet, but I'm in what's called like cyclic ketosis. So I eat primarily ketogenic in the morning and afternoon, and then I eat carbs in the evening. So in the morning, I take 6 to 8 caps of Apex. It gives you energy. It helps you burn fat and digest the fat that you do consume. So after that, I'll usually have my my upgraded fatty coffee in the morning. So Capex has been fantastic for fat loss and also digesting the fat. All right, last morning supplement, but really an all-day supplement, is Magnesium Breakthrough. I take one of these in the morning, usually one throughout the day, and then always 2 at night. I know you guys have heard me talk about this. It's fantastic for stress, sleep, a lot of things. Not going to go super in depth into it on this podcast. Then we've got their Magnesium, which I also love. I take 6 to 8 of these before each meal. Really helps digestion. It helps you absorb more of the nutrients that you do eat, helps with muscular recovery. Really good. Also, HCl Breakthrough, which is hydrochloric acid, just stomach acid. So I take 1 to 2 of those, depending on the size of the meal, before each meal. Also helps tremendously with digestion. All right, so real quick, I want to go over my digestive SWAT team before each meal, which is the HCl Breakthrough, the Magnesium, and the Probiotic. So these before each meal, game changer, especially if you eat too close, if you eat dinner too close to bedtime and you have that, big bolus of food sitting in your stomach, you got the meat sweats, trouble sleeping, it reduces the quality of your sleep, especially now that Thanksgiving is coming up. Those are going to be a game changer. I take those with me everywhere I go. If I travel, they come with me. If I go out to a restaurant, they come with me because God knows restaurants do not have good quality food, most of them. So with each order, you're also probably going to get this little nifty gifty here, this pill travel case that has been a freaking game changer. So I put all my supplements in here. Usually it's the Magnesium, the HCl Breakthrough, the Probiotic, and depending, maybe magnesium or curcumin, something like that, or blood sugar breakthrough, or Gluten Guardian, which we're about to get into. So the Gluten Guardian, I forgot to bring the bottle up here, but I take it. So I mentioned the bread earlier in this podcast. If you are going to have bread, especially, around the holidays, now that they're coming up, Gluten Guardian is a fantastic supplement. It helps you break down gluten. It won't cure celiac disease, just disclaimer there. So if you have celiac disease, probably just definitely avoid gluten at all costs. But if you're maybe sensitive to gluten, or maybe even if you're not, I take Gluten Guardian, and it's been very beneficial at reducing bloating and all of the negative side effects that come along with eating gluten. Next up, we've got Blood Sugar Breakthrough, which reduces your blood sugar spike after a meal, especially if it's high in carbohydrates. So it helps break down and digest some carbs, and also helps you burn fat by, again, lowering your blood sugar spike after a high carb meal. So I'll take at least 2 of those before dinner, which is usually my high carb meal. And it's been a game changer in my fat loss. All right, so that's it for Bioptimizers. Again, it's 25% off with the free mug as a nifty gifty. If you use my code Captain Morgan, the link will be in the show notes of this podcast. And then the next and final sponsor, well, they didn't sponsor this episode, but the last and final deal that I want to mention for Black Friday is Lambs. So Lambs is the podcast that was most recently released. It's the EMF blocking clothing that has been phenomenal. So right now I'm wearing their beanie. I also have their shirt, and their underwear blocks 99% of EMFs, which, if you don't know what that is or why that's significant, go listen to my last podcast to understand. But they're doing a Black Friday only deal. So it's only on Friday, and it starts, I don't know what percentage it starts at, but it starts at 7 a.m. and gradually decreases as the day goes on. So I would say set a reminder for 7 a.m. and it's link only. You can't use my code. The link will be in the show notes of this podcast. And the percentage off that you get decreases as the day goes on. So to sum it all up, we've got the Bioptimizers, 25% off with the free mug. That goes for a whole week, I believe. So starting today, which is Tuesday, and then going up until a week, then it lasts that whole time, 25% off. Use my code Captain Morgan to get the 25% off and also the free mug. For Lambs, it's Black Friday only, and the percentage decreases as the time goes on. Again, it starts at 7 a.m. It is link only. Links will be in the show notes of this podcast. That is it. Again, thank you guys for supporting me to help me win the Bioptimizers Influencer of the Year award. Very excited for that. Lots of cool content coming up. We're actually doing a photo shoot at the end of this month in Venice, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, until next time, don't forget, live the Captain's lifestyle. Peace.